Drogba indirdi ceza. Snyder. Snyder gol! Allah'ım gol!
Muslera! Fernando Muslera! Golün adı Muslera!
Sarıyoglu. Drogba! This is incredible!
Merhaba and welcome to episode 36 of the Lion's Den, a Galatasaray podcast, done by the community, for the community. From all around the universe, I'm your host Samet, and I have the full squad in today. Let's start off with Australia, Melbourne. How's the weather over there, Mazhar?
Believe it or not, the weather's actually raining this morning. Hopefully it's going to clear up, but...
It's winter? Summer there? No?
Nah, it's summer, but we're just having a wet day.
Alright. Yeah, it's winter here, so... The... Well, city is across from you. Toronto, Canada. Coach John. It's summer there?
Yeah, I wish. It's getting cold now. I'm here already rubbing my hands together trying to warm them up. Yeah, it's we're heading into the Canada cold anytime now, so not looking forward to it.
Oof. And your neighbors from New York, Emre and Yasin. How cold is it over there?
We're freezing our asses off.
It's on and off, honestly. It's like 1 week it's 60, 70 degrees. I don't know what the Celsius is on that. It's like not bad, sunny outside. The next day it's freezing. The next day it's sunny. It's been on and off for a week or two now, but I think we're starting to get really cold.
It wasn't that bad. This past week, it was normal. It was always in like the 20 Cs. Now, today, I was telling Samet earlier, it's like 16 C. And I had to like literally open my own damn portable heater.
Well,
You know, my landlord is a
sounds a lot like Yasin's fandom, you know, on and off.
yeah, it could be bipolar.
To do it.
We just can't go a week without Samet making a joke.
Nah,
Bro,
you also came in late today, so you got to be punished for that, man.
I came 5 minutes late. I'm normally
Bro,
like 10 minutes early, so
I swear, I was waiting to see how Samet was gonna tie the weather into you being a Fener fan. Bro, I was waiting. I was like, how is he gonna do it? How is he gonna tie this in? Unbelievable.
Oh, the
bro.
weather is nice. Oh, just like Fenerbahce, huh?
Yeah. That's world class from Samet. That is world class, bro.
Yeah. Well, also, you know, I'm Dutch culture. I don't accept being late, and that brings us to our last guest, host, co-host, Mr. Salih from the Netherlands. We don't accept being 5 minutes late, right? On time is on time.
Gotta be punctual, man.
Exactly.
15 minutes beforehand. You know, nothing else is accepted. Unfortunately, our American brothers seem to be a bit, complacent at that part, but we gotta do
Hey,
it.
excuse you. I was here before Summit, okay? I was ready.
Yeah, today, you know. But we have it noted,
today.
right? Yeah, in our minds. Anyway, I guess you asked about the weather. I don't know what you think about the current weather, but to me, it's kind of on and off. In the evenings, it can get a bit cold, around like 4 to 3 degrees Celsius. Again, I don't know any freedom numbers, but during the day, it's still fine, I guess.
What's the coldest it gets down there anyway?
We're having a very soft winter, I'd say, the past few years. So it's not that bad. The coldest, maybe, under zero, it's pretty cold here. -1, -2.
Yeah, we border the sea, right? So
Yeah.
summers are never really that hot. I mean, it's very humid, but it's never like really hot. Like 26, 28 degrees is usually what's average. And the winters are never really cold. So that's how it works over here.
Yeah, but in the house, it's fairly consistent. It's 20 degrees. I don't really have to turn up the heater yet. You know, just like my fandom, always consistent, always on that same level.
And even if you have to turn up the heater, I mean, that's bloody expensive. So
well,
a
these
Jew like
days...
you probably wouldn't do that. You would.
that's fairly good. Isolated.
I mean, you have a hoodie on right now. I bet you have like 2 on top of each other just to save the weight.
Nah. Well, for now, I have to save. When my baby is born, I have to turn it up, right? I can't Jew out on that. Lads, any interesting things to note the past few weeks? any news that you want to mention?
I guess we could quickly go over the fact that we had a cup game before our wonderful result against Ofspor. Right?
Yeah.
And what did you guys think of that match? To me, it gave me kind of PTSD.
Bro,
we
I'm
had
just
so many chances, but we barely won. Basically,
I have one thought about it. I actually think that match was a blessing in disguise because we probably could have scored 10 goals in that match. We only ended up scoring 2, and it's almost like it was I don't know, like a wake up call almost, missing all those chances, and then we came out in this Başakşehir match like on fire. I think it in the moment we were like, holy crap, like how are we not scoring? But I think it actually might have helped us.
The only thing I remember from that game, honestly, is that the Ofspor football players were fighting over Mata's shirt at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't blame them. I don't blame them. They play
what are
fourth
they, like
division.
third league?
Yeah,
fourth, third league.
exactly.
How many times would they get to see a star like Mata? That's incredible.
They probably posted their pictures on their Instagram already. So
Also worth noting from that game, I think Ross I think he tore his ACL, unfortunately.
He's out for like 2 months.
2 months, yeah.
which is fine. Our next game is like in 38 days. So
Yeah, the timing of it,
45.
I guess, is not terrible.
yeah, exactly. What I was really excited about that game, you reminded me, Yasin, Ross being injured brought Emin Bayram on, and I really wanted to see the duo Emin Bayram and Metehan. And both of them, I said it on WhatsApp, I rate them super highly, and they were so solid. I really see a bright future for both of them. It seems we're really good at producing center backs. Like you can see Ozan Kabak in Hoffenheim. He's been unleashed as well, scoring like a striker. So it seems that's the area where we're doing pretty good in producing.
Yeah, and they're both very like calm and collective players. They both like to play from the back. Metehan especially, he impresses me every time he plays how cool-headed he is. You know, he has a defender on him. He doesn't panic like certain players on Fenerbahce by the name of Serdar Aziz. But
Oh, here he goes again.
Metehan, you know, calm, cool, collective, is able to pass the ball, beat the offense, and play that ball out wide. So I really like that about him. They, like you said, I think they can be a really great duo in the future, in the near future potentially.
I think it's so good that they're 19 and 20 years old. Isn't that crazy? That's so awesome, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that's insane.
especially like, and think about it as well, like in the squad last season, like I'm not sure, like I guess they weren't really around the squad that much, but we had players like Markau and Nelson. Now we have Nelson, Abdul Karim. Like there's players that they could learn a lot from as well. So I think Samet and I mentioned on the last episode, when these guys are like 23, 24, 25, I think they have a pretty high ceiling. Like they have potential to be really good. So hopefully they continue. From what I can see, they're on the right path to make that happen.
By Turkish standards, they're toddlers, right? And they're this good.
Yeah.
That just gives me a lot of hope, especially for Metehan. I rate Metehan a little bit higher because he's just a year older than Emin. He has a little bit more experience at this point, but he just seems so solid and collective. You know, he looked like a guy that was a player for, you know, Galatasaray 5 years or 6 years in the making. That's how confident he was.
Yeah,
and I'm
he
really
looked good,
happy.
man.
He looked very good.
Yeah, exactly.
Not only them two. I think Duba was pretty good too during the game. I couldn't say that of the other fullback, going by the name of Patrick van Aanholt. He well.
Oh my God, you just triggered Summit. Good job.
And honestly, Patrick, I've said this during an episode where we did the introductions of our new transfers, and I had Kazımcan, and I said if he can work on his defensive capabilities, I see him easily taking over the role of Patrick van Aanholt, and we won't see him anymore. And I think it's starting to solidify pretty much that Kazımcan is going to play there if he's fit, even over Emre Taşdemir and Patrick van Aanholt. So I see that happening. What I wanted to ask Mazhar, have you watched the Ofspor game? Just checking.
Nah, I didn't catch the Ofspor game, hence me being so quiet.
Yeah. There's one very important event that happened. Salih, what is that?
Oh, here comes the question. The very important event.
Yeah, you should know. You watched the game, right?
I did watch it. Now I'm thinking of it.
Yasin's very favorite player did something finally.
Starts with a
Of
B.
course, Berkan.
Of course, exactly.
Yeah, he scored a goal. And the funny thing about the goal is, I don't know, I don't think it was a good shot. Of all the chances we had throughout the game with Gomez missing from point blank range miraculously, like it was harder to miss than to score, Berkan's goal goes in from outside the box. I know that Yasin tried to defend him by saying that, I mean, it's hard to see. There were like 3-4 defenders in front of him. I get that, but I don't know, somehow his shot went in. And I want Yasin to, or John, continue on that.
I mean, imagine the state of this match where we're playing a third division team and we have to win by relying on Berkan to score. That's literally like a 1 in 10 million chance. Like I was actually shocked when he scored that, but good for him.
And when he scored too, his celebration.
Yeah.
He acted like, I don't know, he's like some type of top 10 Turkish midfielders, you know, but...
No, bro, you know what that was? It was like, because he did it so automatically, you can tell he's been planning on that celebration, but he's never had the chance to do it. Like, just the way he did it so quickly, you could tell.
Yeah.
And you're right on games.
Why are we hating on him right now? I'm sensing a little bit of hate.
We're not hating.
I'm just saying
I'm sensing a little bit of like making fun of him because he scored. His goal wasn't that great, and his celebration, like the guy, you know, has been dreaming about. I mean, look, it's his first goal for a big club. His first one. You know, he was at Alanya before that, Sion before that, 2 small clubs, and it's not like the kid has not been putting performances that have made us fans believe that he is not far from scoring. I mean, at the end of the day, he's not a number 10. He's not a striker. He's not a winger. So it's already rare for him to be able to score. I say kid for everybody. But, I mean, he's had shots on target many times last season and, you know, earlier this season. Sometimes the goalie saves it. Sometimes it goes just wide or just over the crossbar. So
or straight into the opposition.
Or straight into the opposition. But regardless, you know, he's been having attempts on target. And that was actually a very clean shot. I think it was a lucky. Like Salih said, it went past 3 defenders. The goalie did not move in time because he just did not see it in time. But, you know, he's trying to shoot on target. And in that moment, he got a little bit of lucky. Sometimes you have to get a little lucky. And he scored. Good for him. I think that's huge for his confidence. And he's been working hard. You know, it's not like he's one of those lazy Turkish players who just, you know, they run around the pitch and do nothing. He's actually tried to contribute towards the team with the little minutes he has. And has been doing a good job. And he deserved it. That's it.
Yunus. Horrible last game. We got to touch on that since you mentioned it.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with Yunus, man. You see Kerem trying to actively improve, saying that, you know, he hired a mental coach. And then you see the state of Yunus, like, man, I'm shocked and I'm upset with that.
He'll come back.
What do you think, Samet? What do you think? You're the biggest proprietor of Yunus.
I love Yunus. I love his way of playing. I love his ball skills, his dribbling, everything. But I was the first one to say in the Ofspor game, it's not his day, and I don't know what's going on, but today is definitely showing that. And we see it back. Everywhere people are mentioning this and didn't like his attitude on the field as well. And people are going full gas on him, not trying enough. While on the other side, indeed, Kerem doing a lot of extra things to come back. Like Yasin also said last episode, he's just fighting for it because that's what he used to, right? I think it's an off spell. I believe in his talent, so I think he'll be back soon. We'll see what happens, but definitely I would not want to loan him out or sell him to any other team, especially with the current Turkish quota that we have. So that's a bit my. Would you sell him?
Rumors. I'm hearing rumors about him going back to Adana, which I'm saying no.
No, we're not a charity.
No way.
Man.
No, hell no.
Exactly.
It's too early to really talk about any of that because I mean, this break might not be good for Gala as a club and our current form, but it's also a good opportunity for Yunus or players that are maybe in not the best form to kind of, relax, look at the situation and try and come back stronger in this off season. He put a status on Instagram the other day where he's out for a jog running. He's sending a message. Look, I'm trying to get back. I'm still focused. And if Yunus is going to come back, it's in this environment. He's surrounded by Turkish players who understand him. He's surrounded by Okan Buruk, the head coach, who's been in that situation before in terms of, a Galatasaray youth product that needs to do well at the club, at the A team. So I think everything's positioned for him to be able to make that comeback, and we should be fine. I think he'll definitely make a return.
Yunus cannot hire a personal trainer, a psychologist, etc. Yasin earns more than Yunus. How do you expect him to hire and get all these things?
Not like the club won't provide him, resources.
Oh, I don't know.
That's a good cop. I don't know if he did that intentionally or not, but the rumor also is he's asking for like a pay raise, and we haven't given it to him because he hasn't really done anything yet. Some reporters say he already got the raise, and it just hasn't become official. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. If there's any like backdoor drama around his new extension or not, I don't know. But it would just be speculation, and there's really no point in that.
Yeah, exactly. Which brings the topic of money. Beşiktaş game, we won that, right? And apparently 5 million Turkish lira was given as a bonus. And I think Gomis and Mustara said just give it to the youth team, academy players. So that's what I read as well on the news.
They didn't say just give it to them. They said you should include them in the in the distribution as well. Yeah.
Just wondered if it's 5 million in total or each. I think it's not.
That's no way.
No,
it's each, bro.
It has to be total.
Are you crazy?
Yep.
the Turkish currency is not that bad.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Beşiktaş game, another part of the news we can include is the ball boy that didn't give the ball to Tayfur Bingöl got.
Yes, of course.
Right. What was it? Yeah, they gave him a sentencing. 8 games he can't participate with the team, which is ridiculous. Never seen a ball boy get like a decision like that. It's crazy.
The Professional Football Discipline Committee giving an 8-game ban to a ball boy and nothing to Tayfur Bingöl, was it? From Beşiktaş.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, that's Turkey in a nutshell right there, eh? He came over and started shoving a little kid.
Yeah.
Nothing happens. Instead of them just saying to the ball boy, listen, you can't be doing this, explain the situation. 8-game ban and nothing for the other bonehead. That's interesting.
Wow.
He's like 12 to 14 years old, something like that, right? He's very young.
But
Yeah.
come
Kid,
on.
man.
But honestly, Maz, look at it from the other side. That little brat holding the ball while there's a big derby going on, precious minutes, we need to come back. You fucking brat. Give me the fucking ball.
I get it.
Yes.
I get it.
But come on, that push, so unnecessary. That
That's
just shows
exactly.
more about him than what's happening. And it happens always with the ball boys.
If Tayfur did nothing there, and he's just complaining, saying, "What the hell are you doing, bro? Like, just give me the ball." But him pushing and shoving a freaking 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Just firstly, it shows what sort of person he is, and secondly, it just shows how stupid the disciplinary committee, or whatever you want to call it, is, because they both should have got something for that.
Yeah.
This wasn't the first time either, though, Maz. This
Yeah, it's
happened in the Beşiktaş-Trabzon game, which is funny because Beşiktaş didn't give the ball to Uğurcan when they were trying to make a comeback. Nothing happened there.
Yeah. Should have pushed over the kid.
Yeah, ezik taş,
Yeah.
bro. Like, they're ezik.
Yeah. You guys want to... Well, do you have any more points from the Ofspor game? Or
We could
No.
talk about Seferovic, one of our goal scorers too.
Yeah.
Because besides the goal, I think it was pretty invincible. I barely really saw much contribution from him. Don't know what... I wonder what you guys think about that, but...
Invisible, not invincible.
Well, invincible then, I guess. Well, that's the part where I'm exposed that English is not my first language. Invincible.
I was like, what's he saying?
Invisible.
Yeah, nah, I agree. One goal, but he missed a lot. That's the problem we have, right? Gomis and Sefo missing a lot of their chances. Well, I also want to remind everyone, I keep saying this, I keep seeing people writing this. Seferovic, there is no obligation to buy. After X amount, 10, 15 games, we get the option to buy him. So it's not like...
Are you sure about that?
That how I read the contract,
I don't think that's even in the I don't think that's even in the cups.
There's a weird cup about it. And I asked like a few reporters. I asked Süleyman Rodop and I asked Jakub. And both confirmed what I understand was correct. So
yeah, I think it's true. What Samet is saying, I think that's true.
That's good then.
And I even said like it's weird though. It's a weird cup clause to add.
Weird, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
So yeah, if you play 15 games, we get an option to buy. If you don't, we don't get the option. That's so weird. I don't know.
What's the option anyway? I forgot. Can you remind me?
I think the option was buy him for 2-3 mil or something like that.
Yeah, something.
If you played
something
20 games,
2.5 mil.
Yeah,
Purchase option.
Okay.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, so going forward to the Başakşehir game, Mr. Can, do you want to go through that?
Yes, I do. So this was... Yes, thank you. This was round 14 of the Super League. I know this is going to be hard to picture, hard to imagine, even after watching the match. But this one finished 7-0 for Galatasaray away to Başakşehir. I'll go through the starting 11 and we'll talk about the first half. So, as usual, we had Muslera in goal, who, by the way, will be missing our next match on Christmas Day against Istanbulspor. He picked up one too many yellows. Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but I heard that those yellow cards get reset during this break.
Really?
and he did it on purpose.
Yeah, he did it on purpose.
I don't know how true it is, but I read that some people were praising him for being apparently smart about it, for picking up that yellow, because now he can actually play in the next one with those cards reset. I don't know.
No.
I haven't confirmed this officially, but that's what I heard.
That's what I heard too.
In any
same.
case, Yasin, our next game is against Istanbulspor.
Istanbul, yeah, on Christmas Day, yeah.
Perfect game to say, Okan, you play it. I'll clean my cards because where do they stand? Like last in the league or something like that.
Yeah,
That's honestly true.
Second,
Yeah,
second last, but yeah.
yeah.
That's a good point, Samet.
Exactly. So it's for me, it looked like very deliberate. I don't see any other way around it. Muslera's been here longer. He knows exactly what will happen if he does that because that's the type of yellows he always gets.
Yeah.
So he knows if he does that, he gets another yellow.
Also, people were saying, "Oh, why doesn't he just get a double yellow and serve in the cup game?" Well, yellows don't go away in cup games. Only red cards do.
Yep.
That's the only type of card you can serve in a cup game.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So
Yeah. So we'll continue with the starting 11 then. So we had, of course, Muslera in goal, Emre Taşdemir, Abdul Kerim, Nelson, Sasha Bowie, Sergio Oliveira, Lucas Torreira, Mertens, Kerem back in the starting 11, Rashica and Icardi up front. Like I said, this match finished 7-0. Unbelievable. We'll just go through the stats quick. Surprisingly, we had less possession than Başakşehir. It finished 57% for Başak, 43% for us. They had 12 shots. We had 11. And that's pretty much it. We can go through the first half, which was very interesting. We kicked it off with a goal inside the first 15 minutes. In the 14th minute, Kerem got on the board with a pretty, I guess, a decent finish finally for once. Not shot at the keeper or an easy save. He buried that one to put us up 1-0. And I just want to say as well, if I can, when it was 1-0 Kerem, I was like, wow, we might pick up 3 points here. Like, we look pretty good. And then in the 45th minute, Icardi scored a penalty, which I'm going to talk about in a second. It was 2-0. And then I was like, holy crap, like this might be game over. We're playing amazing. And then literally a minute after that, there was an own goal and it was 3-0 at the end of the half. And then when I saw that, I said, wow, we can really, the floodgates might open now, right? So we love to see that. What did you guys think about the first half? What did you think about Icardi's penalty? I think he's a world-class finisher. That was an amazing penalty, so confident. But what did you guys think in general, how we kicked it off there?
In general, I think, Icardi played a phenomenal game. Not just the first half, second half as well. He picked up a nice assist, two nice assists. But you said that, what did you say? You used the word when you were saying that we scored 7 goals. What did you say? Hard to believe.
Floodgates?
No, at the start.
Yeah,
you said it was
I
hard
just
to
said-
believe or something.
Yeah.
Was it really hard to believe? Every week we say, oh, this game could have finished 5-0. This game could have finished 6-0.
True.
This is the first week where we actually finished our goals. Well, most of them, we hit the post twice. Rashid hit the post once and Icardi hit the post once as well. This game could have finished 9-0.
Up to Kerem.
Just think about that. That's 3 times. We could have scored more goals.
Yep.
And I just wanted to point that out. But other than that, first 45 minutes, it was we played a great half. No selfish passes. Like you said, we actually buried the goals. We finished quite well. Kerem's got his confidence back, and he's playing with the team, which is great to see.
Yeah, I wanted to mention as well right after our first goal, a few minutes after that, in the 23rd minute, we had Emre Taşdemir come off with an injury, and then Kazımcan played the rest of the match. And I thought he did an excellent job, probably his best performance, I think, for us so far. But
Blessing
just wanted to
in
mention
disguise,
that as well.
honestly, because you could see that Emre Belözoğlu's game plan was obviously exploiting Emre Taşdemir, that wing with Traore and what is it? Danny, I think they're called.
Kenny.
Yeah. Danny, whatever. Yeah, always on the right side because, well, honestly, our other side of the wing with Sasha Bowe and Rashidska, it's just impossible to do anything there. It's just so solid, and that's the starting XY. So Rashidska and Sasha Bowe. I don't see anyone else going there if they're fit enough to play. That's pretty much what we will continue with for sure.
Yeah, I think so. And like I mentioned, so Kerem got the first goal, Icardi scored the penalty, and then the third goal was an own goal, pretty much by virtue of Rashica, who sort of played the ball in and then I guess just took a deflection and went in. But our attack was just on point. Exactly like Mazhar said as well. When you really think about it, there could have been several games this year where we won 4, 5, 6-0. And it's just purely based on the fact that we couldn't finish our chances, which we were today. But what did you guys think of Kerem? Like, we've been talking about for the last few weeks how he has to earn his place back in the 11, and we all know how good he is, but just like Yunus, he hasn't really been able to show it. But what did you guys think about him today? He was our highest rated player, and then Icardi behind him, but I think SofaScore gave Kerem a 9.4 or 9.5, so what did you guys think about that?
I think it's great for him. He's finally made that comeback. He hashed out of his shell, and props to Okan Buruk putting him in this game, because he could have put Barış Alper Yılmaz after the performances he was giving, but no, he chose Kerem, and I think there's a small motive there, right? Because he has a history with Başakşehir. He said that they stole 4 years of my youth, and so I think he was extra motivated to play in this game, and you can really see it. And him hiring a mental coach is probably one of the best things he can do, because he looks so focused out there now. He doesn't take the ball and mindlessly dribble into players anymore. He looks for his teammates. He looks for those passing opportunities. He defends now. He looks and presses with the team more efficiently. How many times did we catch Başakşehir off guard with our pressing, and it led to counterattacks? Plenty. The penalty you were mentioning, how do we get that? It was Lucas Torreira coming up to the field, stealing that ball, and going into the box himself and getting that penalty. Like, the team just collectively is doing so much better. And I think that's helping Kerem come out of his shell and actually improve. And I said this before, when we got rid of all those useless players, I said this was good for the team because it gives Kerem an opportunity to learn from players that are actually good, that can teach him something, not just create like a a hobby, little environment in the team. No, like a professional environment, but with actual good players. And these players are actually, thoughtful. They're all playing for each other. They're not selfish. And I think that started to finally rub off on Kerem. That's what I think about it so far.
It also helped that in general, like our play we were very much on the front foot. We didn't pass as much like towards the back as we usually do. And that led to, the first goal, to compliment Kerem. I think, yes, Abdul Kerim stopped the Başak attack and then gave a long ball to Icardi, if I recall correctly, who then passed back to Kerem. But I think Kerem pretty much created that goal on his own. Yes, he passed to Sergio, who then tried to nick it in between how many plays of Başak? 2-3. But that was subliminal by Kerem. I really think he did well. And as you said before, I don't know if Kerem, if he plays bad, I mentioned it before, it feels like he plays extra bad because his mistakes seem so obvious. Like he just tries to take on too many plays at the same time, just be a bit too egoistic. But this, and I want to just keep it on the first half, of course, but first half,
he played simple.
Really bright. Yeah, exactly.
He played simple. He didn't keep it on his feet too much, and that paid off, obviously.
And we did that in general, like as John said before, like we didn't have that much of the ball if you really think about it. But when we had the ball, we were much more dangerous compared to.
We were
Başakşehir.
efficient, super efficient.
And I know that's something that Samet doesn't like, being on the transition. But
I was gonna
still,
get there. I was gonna get there because
he's waiting for the opportunity. He's licking his lips.
Honestly, lads, like we had 40% possession the whole game, and it's kind of obvious now what Okan's game plan is and play style is. Very obvious now. I think this was one of the first and the few games that his game plan actually worked, as in 100%. Where in other games you could say, okay, his tactics, which he has, and don't say he has no tactics, didn't work completely because we couldn't score them, obviously, a lot of the times. But this game, everything worked. His tactics worked. And I see he's trying to do mainly is he doesn't care about ball possession. Galatasaray at the moment do not care about ball possession. It's all about pressing the opposing team, dislodging their tactics so they cannot perform what they want to do. And in this case, Başakşehir is a team that likes to play with the ball. We didn't let them play with the ball because we were pressing them and basically dislodged their tactics, where we then took over the ball, and that's when they're at their weakest. And a lot of teams in the Super League don't play like Başakşehir. So this 7-0 says nothing when we go play against Hatayspor or some other team that doesn't like to play with the ball as much as Başak. So and Emre has mentioned this, Okan Buruk likes to change his tactic based on who he plays against, which is obviously needed for every different kind of team. But this game against Başakşehir showed a lot of the traits we're seeing every weekend. Lots of pressing on the front end. And honestly, I don't know, if you play with a very high level, capable team, Champions League level team, would this work is the question. Do I like it? It's a complete different story because I don't. I don't like this kind of playstyle where we do not have possession. I like the ball with us. I like that domination. 7-0, sure. But did I enjoy it as much as I did against, was it Gaziantep, where we were 10 guys and we still had a lot of possession? That's what I enjoy. But that's all in all what I see. And what I wanted to say is when we play high-level Champions League style level teams, they will exploit the high pressure we are putting. And we have a gap in the middle that's easily can be converted if the opposing team is fast and composed in their counter attacks. Like imagine a Real Madrid.
If I can just butt in there, you mentioned the Gaziantep game. Why do we have so much possession? is because, Errol Bulut doesn't like to have possession. He likes you to have the ball so he can counterattack, right? And so I understand you like possession style football, and that's fine. But like, I don't know if you guys noticed that a lot of the teams this time around these days are transitioning into more like transitional football, direct attacking. Like even Pep Guardiola doesn't play his old tiki-taka style football. Even he's modernized his philosophy. Is like go and score as quick as you can.
You're saying I'm a dinosaur?
Be very direct.
Direct football. Because that's look at who's winning the Champions League all the time. It's always like teams that play fast and direct, not always like, oh, I need to have the ball at all times. It's like, how efficient can I be with this ball? Take it to the other end and score. That's what I've been seeing. Even my coach. Yeah, go ahead, Mas.
I'm just gonna butt in there. Bro, you're not gonna use the same tactics you use for Super League as you're gonna use in the Champions League or the Europa League. We haven't done that in the past, and I hope Okan Buruk doesn't do that in the future, because that's not something you should be doing. You should be changing your tactics every Champions League game, every Europa League game, catering to your opposition. Like if you're versing, for example, Real Madrid, you're not gonna play with the ball, because like you said, they're gonna run straight through you. But it's I do see your concerns. I do see the concerns, but I think we'll be fine.
Also,
I just want to go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to add one stat that I found remarkable. Basically, adding to Samet's and Emre's point, the average pass streak we had was only 3, compared to Başakşehir's I think 6 or so. So yes, like what Samet says and Emre says, it is true that we play very directly. I think it was, I lost count unfortunately because we scored 7 goals, but it was the 4th or 5th one. It was literally like, what was it? Abdul Kerim to Kerem, Mertens, and then Kerem again, I think. And then he netted in the 4th goal, something like that. So we do play very directly. And again, I do understand the concern against low block teams, but even possession-based teams struggle against low block. Low block is basically just the most annoying thing to deal with. That's like for most teams anyway. So that's what I wanted to add. Then I'll give the word over to Yasin.
And when we successfully throw off those walls, I'll be happy. Then we're complete.
We're almost there then.
So we're getting there. We're
almost
getting
a happy
step by
summit.
Huh?
Step by step, we're almost there. Yasin, you wanted to add something too?
Summit kind of just made a comment on what I was about to say. Just because we won 7-0 against Başakşehir, that doesn't mean this is, the best that Galatasaray is going to be, and this is, the maximum output and the best we're going to play. No, I think it was Mertens. I don't remember his exact quote, but after the game, he said, we're going to be better than this. We're finally starting to play as a team. But this isn't just what we're going to see. We're going to get better as we start to play more and more games together. And that's to answer Samet's criticism, which, some of it I found harsh, but I think one thing that Samet said that I really agreed with, when we press high, there's gaps in the midfield. And against better teams, whether that's going to be a better team with better players or a weaker team that just happens to be on a very informed day against us, can definitely make us pay for that. I think it was in the early minutes, they had one chance down the right wing, and that came because in the entire team, I think the front 5 or 6 of our players all pressed very high, including Torreira, including Sergio, but our back 4 line was very deep. It was like maybe halfway between Muslera and the halfway line, and there was just a giant gap where they were able to receive that ball, turn around, play the ball out to the wing, and they got almost on a 1-on-2 position with, I think it was Traore who messed up his shot. But that's risky. And I think if we're going to play a high press, that's okay. But the entire team needs to play a high press. And that's something that I think, Okan and his team will definitely see when they watch the video clips afterwards. And we should be able to resolve and work on those weaknesses. Otherwise, I think the critique is fine. But I just wanted to make a comment saying this is not our final form by any means. I think we're finally starting to see the guys play as a team together really well, and less selfishness. I just want to make a really quick comment and praise the hell out of Icardi in that first half. He scored 1 goal, which was a penalty. On paper, that might not look like a lot. You'll say, oh, why is everybody praising Icardi? He scored 1 goal and it was a penalty. What's the big deal, right? No, he was involved in every single one of those 3 goals. And he could be just as important as Kerem in terms of unleashing us to finish the game 7-0. The first goal, Abdülkerim passed the ball to Icardi, who made an excellent run down the left side. Icardi had to win that ball in a 50-50 against one of the strongest players on the field that day, even though he, ended up with an own goal and a pretty low rating. What's his name? Yusuf Ndiaye. I'm probably going to butcher his name.
Ndiaye.
Yeah, exactly. I'm already terrible with names. And well, he's a very strong player, and I think he's a very good defender. We actually wanted him from his last club, but I think Başakşehir outbidded us and ended up getting him. He was originally a CDM, but Emre turned him into a very excellent center back. But Icardi was able to win that ball. He was able to turn around, wait for the rest of his team to catch up to him, played it to Kerem, and Salih already described the rest of that goal. So excellent work from him there. In terms of the penalty, he was one of the guys that was able to press high. He was constantly running
Sergio.
around. With Sergio, think Gomis when he first joined. Think Burak Yilmaz when he was in his prime, constantly attacking. He's not as good as that in terms of the pressure, but he still does that. You think that a world-class star comes to this team, lots of ego, lots of drama. He's just going to come and walk around, the inside the 18 box, wait for the ball to come to him. That is not the case with Icardi. The guy is here trying to prove himself and play and score goals and assist goals. So I credit some of that goal to him there too. And obviously he scored the penalty, which was absolutely beautiful. And then the third goal, yes, Rashica did an excellent job coming down that right wing, and he's the one that carried the ball. But if you watch that replay again, Icardi is a good amount of space behind the last defender, and he absolutely darted. Like, you see those replays of like Haaland that, he starts from like the 18-yard box in his own line and just absolutely sprints to the other side. That's that's obviously an exaggerated version, but Icardi, he sees Rashica get the ball. He watches hand movement. He said, slow down, wait for me to come. He sprints behind the defender, and that's what shifts the defensive line even further back, which causes the error from, the defender scored the own goal. So he's involved in that as well, even though it was an own goal. So Icardi, excellent job. Kerem and him, excellent work in the attack so far. I want to say that before we move into the second half.
Yeah. Do you think this is like the fixed first starting 11 now? Aside from Emre Tashdemir, Kazımcan there?
It looks like the best first 11 in my book.
Yeah.
I don't know who else I would really replace on the field.
Honestly, I would rotate the center backs sometimes because I just love watching Emin and Metehan so much. I'm not saying Abdülkerim and Victor Nelson are bad, not at all, but I just think that Emin and Metehan are just as good enough. Not better, but just as good. So like
They're solid.
No worries there for my side.
We have a deep squad. We can rotate. We can afford to rotate as well.
Yeah.
I think as far as our best starting 11 is, like Salih said, I think this is our best starting 11. Just maybe Emre Tashdemir out.
Yeah.
Don't forget Barış Alper Yılmaz. I think certain games there will be, Okan Buruk will prefer Barış Alper Yılmaz over Kerem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on what's needed. Physicality, finesse.
May I add then one more point? What did you think of... Because Başakşehir, I believe, had a corner, which was at the near post, and Muslera did save it. But what did you think of the defending of Sergio? Because to me, that felt like a, typical Sergio dive pretty quickly to the ground type move, which almost could have costed us the goal. I wonder if you guys remember that or not. Because
I remember, yeah.
Is it Sergio's fault or is it the leagues and the refs' fault?
No, that's Sergio.
To me, it looked like Sergio. That's
what
why
I mean by
mentioned
that is this guy came here and he noticed with every small thing you can just get a foul and get away with it. So him thinking, oh, if I just drop myself here, it'll be cancelled and we can move on. I don't blame him because that's what he used to the past, 11, 12 games. And you know how many goals we were disallowed because, oh, look at that. Jackne pushed someone. Oh, look at that. He fell. Oh, here wasn't good enough. So he fell. And we get the disallowed goal. So I think it's his adjustment to the league. So they'll probably discuss this.
I think you have a good point and applies sometimes to some players in different situations, but I think Sergio's been like that since the very early days of him.
Yeah, I was gonna say
joining
that too.
Galatasaray.
The first game, I remember he was just throwing himself on the ground. We almost conceded because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so I don't know if you remember.
yes, I do. And to add on to that, I said different players in different situations. I think it was the same game, or maybe it was versus Beşiktaş. Nelson, he was, it was a corner kick and he slightly got, pulled or pushed and he dived and fell and was looking for a penalty. In that case, while we're trying to attack and score a goal, I'm fine with it. If he's going to dive, look for a penalty, go for it, because he already knew he was not going to reach that ball and he was not going to get it. If he can somehow, bring the referee or the VAR's attention, maybe get a penalty in that situation, okay. But in the situation of Sergio, where he's the first man at that near post to get that ball, you can't risk diving and trying to draw a foul when
Exactly.
if it doesn't work out, it's gonna be a goal. Like, that's just too risky. That's not the right situation for that. So I hope we see less of that going forward.
Yeah, thank God we have Muslera. It was near post. He saved it, but yeah, just like you said, to me that was just risky. It didn't feel like an actual foul. He just dived basically. Just wants.
He doesn't know how to do it correctly. You know who knows how to do it correctly? Nelson.
Torreira. Oh
No,
Nelson.
yeah, and
Marcao
Torreira.
and
But
Torreira, yeah.
yo,
Marcao was the king of it.
Yeah.
there was this one play. Nelson, got hit in his chest, but he made it seem like he got hit in the face, and
Face.
the ref gave a foul for it, bro. It was funny as hell.
Yeah.
And now that you mention Marcao again, bro, like with Marcao, there's like a build up to when he was about to fall. He would like start limping a bit and then just throw himself on the ground, grab the ball, and there it is. He got the foul.
Oscar worthy, man.
That's golden, man.
For sure. But in general, other than that, Sergio's been bomb, if you ask me. Distributed the ball really well, left, right, through balls. He was on his game today, and
He
he really
finally found his stride.
yeah, and the balance with Torreira was awesome as well. They really fulfill each other. They balance each other out perfectly, and I think Torreira, we're gonna see more and more from him, like he did today, winning the penalty. It was just a great play. He was very smart in how he got he basically got the penalty himself, because he kind of lobbed the ball, so he would then make contact, and the defender missed the ball completely because of that. And that's how he got the ball. Honestly, I wanted him to take the penalty, but Icardi taking it and how he took it, it was just so comforting seeing Icardi behind the ball. Like Gomez, I'm always worried he's gonna miss it. He's gonna miss it.
Yeah.
He's gonna put it on the left because that's what he always does. And keepers know this as well. It's just yeah. All in all, it was very fun seeing the goals for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was those 3 goals were for the first half. The second half, of course, there was more.
On
but
to
there's
the
more.
pounding.
all that talking, and now we have a second half with even more
Yeah,
goals.
I mean those are the 3 goals for the first half. That's why I said at the beginning it's kind of hard to believe, honestly. But we had 2 more goals from Kerem. So Kerem scored in the 59th minute. That made it 4-0.
Hat-trick.
Yeah, that was the one where there was some beautiful sort of passing and link up play between him and Icardi. Icardi made a very unselfish play to give it back to Kerem, who had a good finish as well. And they were celebrating together after. That was really nice. So that made it 4-0. Then Mertens scored, which made it 5-0. And then Kerem scored to complete the hat trick in the 85th minute. And then Abdul Kerem scored a header in the 88th minute to make it 7-0. And at that point, I was like not even really celebrating anymore. I was just laughing my ass off when it was like 6 and 7-0. I honestly couldn't believe this. It was amazing, but our performance was really good. And like you guys were mentioning a few minutes ago, just about the way that we were playing, like, I really have to congratulate Okan Buruk for this, because he came into the final 2 matches before this World Cup break and got 6 points against 2 really, really difficult opponents. And Başakşehir have been good, man. Like, they're good at what they do. They're a team that keeps the ball and, they look to control the match, and they're really good at that. And, typically in most cases, there's 2 ways to play against that. You can either press and try to force them to make mistakes like we did,
in the first
Like,
half. Exactly.
Yeah, and like you guys mentioned, either they'll be able to play in behind the gaps that you leave when you start pressing and they can shred you, or it'll be effective. And other teams may choose to sort of sit back a little bit, invite them in, be patient, and try to win the ball and counterattack. And I think Okan Buruk got this so right. I have to congratulate him for that. The floodgates opened in the second half, and really, I think it was Mazhar or someone else that mentioned it. This really could have been like a 10-0 game. It really could have, honestly. Even if our finishing on the day was a little bit better than it already was, I don't know.
But
9-10-0 maybe.
Can we judge Okan Buruk being good or bad by this game?
I wouldn't say by this game, but I would say to try to look at the last, few results that we've got. I think that things are coming along. I think that his play style, although I may not agree with it, I think that the players are starting to adapt a little bit better, at least. And
I mean, is it fair for Başakşehir playing against a team of Okan Buruk? Consider yourself, Can. You went to high school, right?
right.
When you, now as an adult, go back to that high school, you know exactly each classroom, right?
Yeah.
You also know each classroom and where the dirty things happen, where all the pretty girls are, right?
Yeah.
So you can just go in there and score 7 goals and come back. And it's easy because you know exactly where to go and where all the dirty things happen.
We're
Yeah.
gonna get raided by the FBI because of Samet one day. I swear to God.
Well, did I say high school? I meant university. That sounded so bad thinking about it now.
Yeah, I swear, man.
But yeah, what I'm trying to say is Okan Buruk knows that team in and out. And
No. I'm gonna stop you right there because that's wrong. First of all, Okan Buruk coached that team a year and a half, more than 2, basically close
Almost
to 2
2
years.
years.
Ago. So I just pulled it up because I thought you were onto something decent, but then I'm like, wait a second, because but Başakşehir went through some change, just the way that we did. Like, you think Fatih Terim understands this team today? No, because the lineup is very different than it was last year. Forget the lineup, the entire squad. So I pulled up Okan Buruk's last league game with Başakşehir, which was in January of 2021, and comparing it to the lineup from yesterday, there is one same player. That's it in the starting 11, and that is Berkay
Nasıl
Özcan.
Ah.
That's it.
Mm.
I mean, there's some guys on the bench like Deniz Türünç, I believe he was on the bench. Is Hasan Ali Yıldırım still on that team? I think.
Kaldırım.
Hasan Ali Kaldırım, yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, Kıldırım. Yeah, but he was on the bench.
The
But everybody
France
else is
national
different.
team destroyer.
Yeah, so like that argument is not terribly relevant.
I mean,
But he-
Yasin, great feedback, and this is exactly why I bullshit around to get this out and known.
Sure.
Use this get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
All right, let's say you're right. Let's just say hypothetically.
Yeah, no.
That's correct. Someone's gonna edit that whole part.
Nah. This is perfect.
I'm just kidding.
All right, what about Beşiktaş? He doesn't know Beşiktaş at all. So what do you say about that? And we played pretty convincingly.
Come on, Beşiktaş just fired their coach. Rozier, Gezal, they didn't have those players.
Rozier was on the bench. I mean, he was playing, but he got injured.
Yeah,
okay,
he got injured.
But
So
regardless,
and then they got the Philosoph coming
this
in.
is Beşiktaş. Yeah, but he started off well. You know, he beat an Umrani at 5-2, 5-3. Like they like, okay, they're starting, mesh together again. Like, oh, we can finally come back. We got the coach again, the legend. You know, it's not
New
as
coach
simple
boost
as you
too,
make.
Don't forget.
Huh?
New coach boost as well. The
Yeah,
morale
new
boost of
coach
a new
boost.
coach.
Exactly.
Yeah, like we had with Torrent, right?
What I'm saying is like, dude, it's not as like simple as you make it. You got to give a little bit credit to Okan Buruk here.
I am.
Like
I am.
he's under
playing
so
a certain.
much pressure.
Yeah, no, he's playing a certain type of style. He's playing a certain type of tactic. It works. And just like I said, I just need that final 10% where we dominate game possession and against low block teams, we score a convincing few goals. then I'm all for it. That's all I want. And well, I'm just being a bouncing ball for you guys to get some good, important information out there, because
Oh, that's good.
we can agree here, but there's also people that think like what I said about the high school.
You mean university?
Or university, exactly. So,
No, that's good, Samet.
it's good to clarify these type of things and go in the thought process of very different type of fans out there that have different thoughts. So, and very interesting. I didn't know that, Yasin, that the team was completely different.
You know, one thing I really respect Okan Buruk for is that he doesn't show any signs of like any interest in changing his tactics or his play style at all. I like coaches that believe in their play style, believe in their system, and stick to it and implement it. So I respect him for doing that.
But
Again,
Emre says it changes every game based on the
but for the most part, the way that he plays, like the way that we
pressuring.
attacked,
Yeah.
like there's certain things that stay the same. You might change, it's certain things about the match depending on who you're playing, but for the most part, he has a system and a style, and he's been sticking with that, right?
Mhm.
So again, although I may disagree with it, I think I respect him for sticking with it and getting results with it. And no matter which way you cut it, regardless, if he knows the Başakşehir team, if he doesn't, it was 2 difficult matches and he got 6 points out of it. And at the end of the day, going into the World Cup break, that's all we could ask for, right? And now when we resume on Christmas Day against Istanbul, we'll see, if we can continue the momentum. And if we can, I think that, come May, at this rate, we could be in a really, really good position.
Yeah. Yeah. What are we going to do for 45 days or 38?
Watch our players at the World Cup.
Shall we do, Maz, shall we do a podcast where each of us just follow our players? Because we got Victor Nelson playing for Denmark.
Yeah, we can.
Haris Seferovic playing for Swiss. That's confirmed call-ups, right? Fernando Muslera with Lucas Torreira, obviously, for Uruguay.
Mhm.
I have Abdul Karim who plays for. Wait.
Turkey, rip. And then Mertens, surprising, honestly, got called up as well, because a lot of.
I can do Mertens.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably watch the game.
In my opinion, that isn't really surprising, bro. Belgium isn't good. Like, they have a lot of players who are. They still have. I think Jan Vertongen, Alderweireld. Like, these are all guys who are like 36, 35 by now.
Yeah.
At the highest level, so.
Yeah.
While Mertens is good, of course, I like him because he's our player. I don't think it's that surprising. Considering
Is he
how
going to get
Belgium-
game time, Mertens?
I think he plays regularly, actually, on the wing, still for them. So
He
I
played
reckon he'll
on the
play.
wing.
I think he was a bench in the last couple games.
I'd kind of be surprised if he played. I mean, I don't know what their depth is really, but when I saw that he was called up, I thought that it was mostly for just tournament experience. Bringing along leaders
Changing
and
room.
guys that have been there, and that's valuable in long tournaments to have. If he does play, that would be amazing. I'd love to watch him, but.
Probably one less hurrah kind of thing for a lot of
They
these
have
other guys.
plenty of experience there in the Belgian national team, bro. They have KDB. I don't know if Hazard's gonna play, but they have Hazard. They have what was the keeper's name?
Lukaku. Courtois.
Courtois. They have experience. So that's why I'm surprised that Mertens even got called up, because they're already
Maybe
a
for
pretty old
the
team.
group games. I mean, if you look at the opposition,
Yeah.
it's Croatia,
Yeah, for sure.
Morocco, Canada. Right? So
Damn, you're gonna do that to John right to his face,
Bro,
John.
What?
You don't
If-
let that slide, John.
do you know what? I just
Canada? You mean India, right?
yeah.
Oh,
That's where you live, right?
Hopefully, if we have some Toronto-based listeners, maybe they'll get a good chuckle out of that. But no, I'm not saying anything about the World Cup. I'm not saying anything about Canada. We'll just see how it goes. If we somehow pull off some miraculous results, you will be hearing from me on the podcast. But I am not saying anything.
Okay.
yeah, too bad there's no Tahiti or other nations to beat.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's see.
Christ.
Let's see if
Only
there's
Cuba is in there again.
Let's see if there's interest. If you're listening right now and you'd love us to talk about the World Cup, drop us a tweet and show us some love and support. And who knows, we'll decide to do a weekly on that or follow up in the meantime while there's no gala info. So
Nope. Hold up. So I heard that we're gonna have friendlies during this time.
ooh, okay,
Um,
okay.
So according
Spanish
to
teams.
Villarreal, right?
yeah.
And
What?
I actually don't know the teams, but that's good
Espanyol
if
and
that's
Villarreal.
true.
That's what I heard.
Wait.
I heard
you
it's
guys,
at least 3 games.
Wait,
so
you
that's
guys,
awesome.
didn't. I don't think you guys heard. I don't think you guys know, but
Here
someone
comes.
is making their return. You guys didn't hear about that?
What?
No?
at Rayo Vallecano, Falcao.
Yeah, Falcao
exactly.
is making his return.
Oh,
We're playing against Falcao during these friendlies. Well, he'll
Who
probably
are
be
we?
hurt. He'll probably be
If
hurt.
he's-
But
yeah, exactly.
yeah, but
He's gonna be in the
anyways,
infirmary.
yeah. So
Get injured.
Yeah.
No, but that's huge. If we can get those to be in Istanbul and convince all the teams to come, I think that's gonna be great.
Nice.
Fans
What I-
love coming to the games.
what I didn't get,
friendly or
though,
not.
What I didn't quite 100% get though is some other team on the other side of Istanbul is playing them too. Is that like done on purpose or because Fener are also playing Rayo Vallecano and Villarreal from what I saw?
yeah, I'd
I guess
imagine
it's not
so.
surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're there. You might as well just play a few more games.
Might as well, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. It's like going to Madrid and playing against Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid, right?
Are we gonna move towards the second half, the pounding, like
I think
the
we
goals?
should. I feel like there's a lot of player performances that are worth discussing.
Mhm.
What? We're
Go
not
ahead.
done?
I thought we were done.
Are we?
Well, I thought
I mean,
so.
like,
I mean, what
I
else
mean,
is
like,
there to
so-
speak about?
Okay,
Like,
this can be cut, right?
There's a lot to talk about. I think, for example, Abdülkerim's performance was exceptional. I thought he did a really good job today, both defending. He scored a goal. I think
I felt
the
bad
fact
that he also
hit a
missed
lot of
that.
balls up top. Yeah, he hit the
He
post.
missed in the first half as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What about his celebration? Do you know what that means, his celebration?
I know for a fact that John doesn't like that celebration because he thinks he's a bulky Turkish defender, right? And he
But
only does
I
it
can't
show his
remember.
biceps.
I
He
can't
did show
remember
his
what.
biceps, right? From it. Exactly.
Oh, he did the Van Aanholt celebration.
Is it? I think I heard that like it's something they do at the basketball a lot.
Yeah.
True, Yasin?
I mean, the basketball
it's
players like to
it's
flex
true.
after like a
It's
nice
true.
little
When they
or
dunk.
something.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. I thought it was dope. My dude's a big guy. He's a tank. Let him
Yeah,
flex.
he
him also
towered
for
over.
that
Who
goal.
was that he towered over when he scored that header, dude?
I don't know, but that dude should be embarrassed. That's like the equivalent of like a poster in basketball, I'd say. Is that right, John?
I guess. Yeah. I mean, it's Abdülkerim getting up there like that. I guess.
My favorite part about that goal was Nelson was like right behind him, and when you watch the replay, like right as Abdülkerim jumps to score the header, you see like Nelson jump a little bit too, like as he's
Yeah.
running, like as
Yeah.
if he's the one that's scoring the goal too. And Nelson was the first one to hug Abdülkerim when he scored the goal. So it's like, yeah,
That
you
was
know, our center
heartwarming,
back,
bro.
center back power right there, and that's great to see after we lost a huge guy like Marcao. So
Yeah.
to see Abdülkerim involved in the attack week in, week out, you know, whether that's the headers on set pieces or, you know, the goal to the first goal, right? The pass to Icardi on the left side. And then also Mertens' goal too. That started, I believe, with Abdülkerim's pass to Kerem on the left wing. Kerem
mean
did
the
this
fourth goal,
amazing,
right?
like, yeah. Did you
The
guys
back
see
heel
like
pass.
his back
yeah,
heel?
Exactly. Mhm.
His back heel
Yeah.
to who was that? Sergio.
It was
or-
Kerem. You mean Kerem where he scored like the Guti
Yeah,
goal?
yeah. No. It was Mertens' goal on the right side. So the ball started on the left side. He did a back heel to I think
Oh,
it was
yeah.
Mertens or Sergio who played it down the right side to Rashica, who
Yes.
got the ball. And you see Mertens still like constantly running. Like he made
Yeah.
that run in. Beautiful finish. Like I think Mertens needs a lot of credit for the amount of pressure that he puts in the attack, constantly running. His passes are always like quick. Like he sees the field, he passes. He's not wasting time. He doesn't get
Yeah.
the ball, look around, wait. No,
And I
he
don't
sees the guy-
expect him to score a lot of goals. He is lifting the whole team up just by
Yes.
playing, and that's his quality. When he's on, the consistent pressuring he does, helping the back, the front, everywhere. It just lifts the whole team up, makes it whole. That's what I like to see from Mertens, and that's why I'm not so fond of Mata playing over Mertens, honestly.
That's fair, I think.
He's also a mensch.
A
What is
what?
it?
A mensch. Mertens is a mensch. Mazhar, you don't know what that is?
Ah, that's the
He's
thing
like
I
a-
said the other day.
Yeah. He's a guy of like on. He's a good guy, you know. Like he always lifts
mensch?
his team spirit. A mensch. Like you're a
Germans
mensch,
are not
Samet.
nice.
I have no clue. What is this Zoomer boomer thing?
I heard
it's
that
not-
from
it's
the
an
first time
American
too, I'm not
thing.
gonna lie.
It's
It's American.
It's like
bro.
he's an Adam, bro.
Yes, exactly.
That's what it's
I
trying
thought
to
he
say.
meant like
He's
Ubermensch
just
or
trying to be
something.
cool and from Brooklyn. He's got to rub it in our face.
What does it mean
Yes.
though? Like mensch means
It
human?
means like it's like you have honor and stuff. You're Adam, you know, like you're a man of honor. You're always like helping people out. You're not selfish. You're thoughtful.
Okay.
That-
Interesting.
That's Mertens. That's how I see him.
Okay. Do
Adam
they
and
know
David.
this in Canada? Adam and David.
No.
You don't have
There's no
mentions in
equivalent?
camera. Because they're
Apparently it's
all
a
a mensch.
Yiddish term.
All
It's a Yiddish
Canadians are
term.
menschs.
Thank you.
Anyway.
Is that why you know it, Emre? Because you're like by a lot of Jewish people in Brooklyn,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
sounds-
Is it a
Yeah.
Jewish
No, it
word?
is a Jewish
Feels
term.
like-
It is a Jewish term.
Ah, okay. It sounds Hebrew, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, it sounds
Bro,
German.
it sounds
for
German.
Human,
Yeah.
mensch, but Hebrew has some German takes, right? Knowing the history.
Yeah.
Does it? I don't know. I don't speak Hebrew.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
Okay.
Are you really? I'm
At
sure
the end
about
of the
that.
video, he
Yeah,
asked
yeah.
for a donation.
Yeah.
But back on Sergio and Abdul Karim. You know they confuse Abdul Karim a lot with Sergio, and Icardi, I think, on Instagram posted something under Abdul Karim's picture saying "Bravo, Sergio." It's like
I
It's a
think
joke.
Joking
was
around.
Was that comment for? I actually maybe you're right, but I saw that as like a Sergio Ramos type comment, like you know, because he's like a tank in the defense and he scored a header, and he's Sergio Ramos is Spanish, like Mata. Maybe he was. I thought he was referencing Sergio Ramos, but
could be.
Maybe-
I don't know.
okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I wish I could ask Mata.
But
Okay.
Yasin, come on with the points you want to discuss. I don't want to hear you bitch and complain after the game. I didn't get to discuss this and that. So go ahead.
I thought Juan Mata's brilliance was part of the reason why Abdulkarim scored. If you watch that replay, you know
Mhm.
everybody's
The
like
free kick was
waiting
taken quickly, right?
quickly.
Yeah.
You know
Yes,
he's
it
looking
was
up.
quickly.
He sees Abdulkarim make that run, and he immediately puts in the most beautiful cross right to Abdulkarim. Like that's a touch of a magician right there. I thought that was really good. Icardi's pass to Kerem, that back heel, like that's something you do in FIFA. Like how many times have you guys seen that type of brilliance in this league? Like you see it like once in a while in the Champions League, but did you guys expect that from him in that moment when he was about to shoot,
No.
but he laid it off?
Nobody.
You
Bro,
know,
that's
people.
a goody type assist, right? Like I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys know the clip.
that's
I
what
was
they were
gonna
saying.
say that, but you know, it
Mhm.
would be. It's harder than what Goody passed to Benzema. Benzema,
Yes,
all he had to do was
yes.
shoot into an empty net. Kerem had to shoot through 3 people,
Yeah.
and he still. And
Yeah.
like, imagine if he didn't score, people would be giving Icardi, you know,
Yeah.
the talking to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with you? This is not FIFA.
You're a
Yeah,
striker.
like
How do you
Yasin.
not shoot that? Kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
that was-
yeah,
that was
no, you
brilliant.
make good points. I wanted to touch on one thing that really like caught my eye. Our set pieces have been great this game. There was this one set piece, I guess up to Kerem's header that came off the post from Sasha throwing it into the
Mhm.
box from the right.
Yeah.
Sergio Oliveira, there's this one really good one where he played it from the ground and Nelson
low.
hit it. Yes, he hit it
Yeah,
low and
exactly.
it was, man, that if we scored that would have been the cherry on top.
That was the
'Cause that
post
was-
again, right? I think it hit the
It
post.
just
it
just
just
went
skimmed.
right out. Yeah, it
Yeah.
skid past the post.
Yeah,
like,
that was
I-
really smart, elite.
Well, I've been seeing that we've been constantly improving our set pieces, and it's crazy because this team is one of the shortest teams in the league. Yet we're starting to see more of a threat going forward with set pieces. I don't know if it has to do with Okan Buruk bringing in new people to help him out, but I imagine it is. And that's what I like about Okan. He's not selfish, or he doesn't have that ego to say, oh, I can figure this out. No, if he has a weakness within his team, he goes, you know what? If I can't figure it out, I'll bring people to help me. And if then I can learn from them now for the future. I don't know if you guys would agree with me, but I've started to see a lot more
He's putting in the
coordination
work
our
for
separate.
sure.
Yes, you can say he's motivated.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's day and night living and breathing the colors. So I have no doubt
He
about
is,
that
and-
with Okan.
And his contract's only for a year, right? So if he wants an extension, he needs to perform now. There's like no time for him, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. And my favorite thing about Okan so far, there's a lot of great things that he's doing well, but it's not about him. Like this season is not about Okan Buruk. He's not showing that in any way. He's not talking about it in any way. He doesn't speak with ego. This year is about the players and the club. When he speaks at the end of games, whether that's after a loss or a win, he talks about the players, he talks about the team. And if he says anything about himself, it's, I realize the mistakes that I've made, and we're going to come back stronger. We're going to work on these things. And that's it. You don't see him having ego fits on the side. You know, when we scored, you know, after like the second or third goal, he's just sitting there and watching a replay of the goal on the little screen. Like, that's it. And I appreciate that. You know, I like it when the tension is on the players and the club. You know, a lot of the time it's not that way. Like Fenerbahce, it's all about Jesus. You know, before it was all about Fatih Terim. Now it's all about the players and the stars and what they're doing on the field. And I just absolutely love that. I hope it stays like that for the rest of the season, because I think it will be a very nice story at the end of it. So here's hoping more of that.
You can see the players really warming up to Okan as well. So he's doing something right.
Yeah, I mean, you have Icardi posting a picture of
Exactly.
Okan Buruk with blonde hair on his Instagram, and then after the game,
I think he took a peek at our Twitter page, probably.
yeah, and after the game, it's like him, Muslera, and Okan again, just dancing. Like, I don't know if you guys saw that one too, but like the three of them are doing a little.
Don't you think he might be a bit of a too nice of a Hoja?
Potentially.
I don't know how he is in the locker room, how serious or
Exactly.
how much of a speech like Terim he gives, but I don't know. Is he maybe too nice?
I would be concerned about that if you saw something that would hint at that being a problem. I think the closest thing I can think of is my comments about the discipline of the team, and sometimes we seem to have lack of discipline. But apart from that, and it's not like terribly often, I think the teams, if the players are comfortable and they show that on the field and we're winning and scoring goals and getting into opportunities, I can't really complain about that. If they see themselves friendly with the coach, and if you respect the person and you're friendly with them, then you'll listen to what they ask of you on the field, and that seems to be the case so far. So
yeah,
no complaints.
And the players themselves, that they have that personality where they don't need a coach that's, you know, super strict, and, you know, they don't need the Igor Tudor type to really get them in line. They want to play
himself, man.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
But also, what would Okan even teach, like an Icardi or whatever? They're world class players. Like, they probably know what to do anyway.
I know.
So, yeah.
John,
I like the vibes. I like the laissez-faire type of coaching right now.
are you a Fatih Terim type of coach or Okan Buruk type of coach?
Honestly, I'm a little bit of both. Like, Fatih Terim's my hero. I've tried my best to be like Fatih Terim.
Have you slapped your kids ever?
No, but I wish I could, honestly. I wish I could. Holy shit, I wish I could, but no. But that's there has to be a sort of a balance. Like, I kind of respect that from Okan, because you know, with Torrent, he was too much on the side of like tactics and, you know, that sort of thing. He didn't seem like a leader at all. Like, it doesn't even seem like the players really respected him that much either. Like, they might have respected his I mean, they might have respected his tactical side of things. Like, they might have said, you know, this guy's he has a brilliant football mind, but it goes beyond that, you know?
Yeah.
So I think Okan has found a decent balance between, you know, earning players' respect, being like a, you know, that figure, having that presence on the bench as well. So I think he's pretty balanced in that regard, I think.
Yeah. And honestly, if Okan Buruk was super into tactics and showing that off, any of the players would have already mentioned it in terms of insights we got. So we just have a good quality team, a good overview of players that know what to do and listen to the standard tactics in football that need to be performed, basically. So all in all, it's going well. We're happy. We're winning. It's not a full podcast year of losses. So I think most of the things are said. So if there's
And we're
nothing
only-
else, yeah.
Yeah, all I can say is we're only 2 points behind the oh so great Fenerbahce. So
You know, the Galacticos of Turkey.
yeah, who beat every team 8-0.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So
And
scary.
just to add on to that, we played 5 home games in a total of 13 games that we played. That's less than half. While the team that's ahead of us with 2 points has played 8 games
Oh
of
my
13
God.
at home.
Yeah.
So think about that. Okay, it's a negative to start the season, but all things balanced, that's going to be a positive in the later half of the season. So
Yeah. Our away
you know-
record is impeccable, actually. It's really good. We have the best away record in the league.
indeed, against some tough teams, honestly.
Also, you guys were mentioning how, our midfield can be susceptible to attacks. Bro, we have the second best defensive record as well. Only 10 goals conceded. We're only behind Konyaspor.
Yeah.
How do you know that? It's good.
Maz, how about you close it off, my boy?
I'm gonna close it off, but just before I close it off, I feel like there's something I need to bring up, something I need to say. Unfortunately, there's been a terrorist attack in Istanbul a few hours ago. Well, as of the recording, a few hours ago. 6 dead and 80 injured. Our condolences to the families and a big geçmiş olsun to the Turkish people and to the people injured. And yeah.
Başımız sağ olsun.
Yeah, we hope the podcast, football, and all kind of thing can take away some of the pain, so you don't have to think about it. And we stand with you. You all the best of luck and strength and everything you need. Hi, this is your editor. Back to wrap up. It ended on a fairly dark note there. We had a few moments of silences after Mazhar announcing that. So, any case, here to wrap up. You can follow us at The Lions Den GS on Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube, wherever you want. We also have a Patreon if you'd like to support us. Have a good day, all.